the way that I explain what I do is if you're taking a trip, you need a plan, you need a destination, you've got the finances in order, sometimes you need an interpreter, you need a transportation, maybe a guide, you need all of that. And because you're not going to go on vacation somewhere you've never been before
Sure.
with none of that, or missing even one of that, because you're going to have a terrible vacation if you do. So people sometimes say, I'm going on permanent vacation when they say they're retiring, and they have none of that. None of it.
Hello, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts, and you found the Serving Seniors podcast, where we highlight those businesses and those individuals that help seniors not just survive, but thrive in retirement. And today we have one of those awesome people. We have Miss Connie Jean Catalano, and Connie is a life transition specialist, and she's going to share how she can help seniors improve their situation with her expertise and help them thrive in retirement. Connie Jean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Hey, I'm doing great. And I wanted to try the full name. How'd I do on the?
You did awesome. Yes.
Right.
Made me feel very comfortable.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here and look forward to learning about your story. Maybe if you could just share with us a little background on who you are, where you're from, and bring us up to speed on how you became a senior life transition specialist.
Okay, so I am originally from Chicago, West Side. Okay. So I grew up in the city. Okay. When I became an adult and I was looking for a career, I picked sales.
Oh, nice.
But I became very successful as a saleswoman, and then I got called into training, and I got recruited by first John Maxwell and then Dale Carnegie training for 21 years.
Okay.
And I was an instructor, and I also did the sales too. So that was the most fun part of my life. I've done other things, but that's my trophy.
That's awesome.
And as time went on, I shot off on my own, and I started my own company. And it's called 31 Training. I don't generally use my name, but that's the name of my actual company. Okay. But what I do as Connie Jean Catalano is I am a coach, and I'm titled a life transition specialist because my coaching literally transitions them to where they want to be. So whoever my client is, I focused a lot on sales and public speaking training. Okay. And then again, you know how life unfolds. I got into the senior living industry, and I worked in some communities. I tried home care and home health just to try and learn it all as I could. And then I went back to doing my coaching full time, and I started a senior advocate program. So what do? Well, I had family members call me and ask me, can you please help me? My mom does not want to move out of her house, or my brother is got a life-threatening illness, and we've got a lot of issues. He won't listen to us. Can you help? Wow. So I walked in and started helping people with the families and putting together this incredible system, which I learned as being in that industry, senior living, and also with my own family and how well they did with my mom. But to give you a quick story on some of the things I have done, I was called by a brother. His brother had congestive heart failure. His wife, had a dementia, and then he had one docile son, and they would not talk to the family about what they had to do if he died. They had a big house, a lot of things. So the brother called me and said, could you help us? I said, sure, get the family together. So it's about 7 of them there. And within 10 minutes, I was able to get this gentleman to talk to me about his life and the fact that the doctor gave him about a year to live. And he had this wife that has dementia, what would happen to her and all that. It turned out that they didn't know, but he revealed that he had millions of dollars, no will, and no wage. So the first thing I did was say, go to a lawyer, get that straightened out first. Sure. And then I helped them find a place for the mom, because if he passed, she's going to have a place. The son wouldn't be able to take care of her.
Right.
And then I put together a whole file system for them so that the family knew exactly what they wanted. So they had a voice. So that's how I end up starting my business. And then it evolved and evolved. And so now I added on to the program. Now I'm not just senior advocate, but I have this program for 55 and over because I discovered all these people who have retired and they thought that was going to be great. And then they found out it wasn't so great.
No.
So the way that I explain what I do is if you're taking a trip, you need a plan, you need a destination, you've got the finances in order, sometimes you need an interpreter, you need a transportation, maybe a guide, you need all of that. And because you're not going to go on vacation somewhere you've never been before with none of that, or missing even one of that, because you're going to have a terrible vacation if you do. So people sometimes say, I'm going on permanent vacation when they say they're retiring, and they have none of that, none of it. So I have this program and I go to people, I find out what they need, because it's not really about my program, it's about them. And I help them to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life. Instead of just retirement, I call it retire. We're going to retire your vehicle, RE-TIRE. And you're going to do what you want to do and fulfill the purpose that you were put here for. Wow. And enjoy life. And also give your family peace of mind, because a big part of it, no matter who I coach, has to do with an organized system that has their voice in it. So if they had a stroke or if they had a heart attack and they couldn't say, well, this is what I want, this is where I want to go, it's in this file. So they even say if they want to go to a community, if they can't speak for themselves and they need assisted living, I have them actually know where they'd like to go if they need to go to a community or if they want to sell their house. It's all in there. So they have a voice, and then I help them with the vision for their future. So that's what I do. And I enjoy it just as much as my clients, because I see them really flourish. And I have so many great stories about people that I was able to talk to, and within 3 weeks, get them to make a decision that their families couldn't help them make a decision for 2 years. So one of the daughters called me the senior whisperer. So I grabbed that title. I thought that was good.
That's so cool. That was my next question. If you could share a couple stories of situations you got involved with, where they were, and then how it was when you got done helping them.
Yes. So another story that I love is this daughter called me and said her mom was in her late 60s, had a stroke. Her dad was gone for 7 years. She lived in a very beautiful home, and that was her pride and joy. That was where all her 4 children came for Christmas and everything. And a couple of the kids moved out of state, but that was her pride. Your home, sometimes your pride, but it was getting to be way too much for her. She had upstairs and downstairs. Okay. And now she's walking with the cane. And she literally was a real spitfire. So she was going up and down the stairs with that cane by herself in the home alone. So I talked to her, we got together, and I put together, I have a system where I ask certain questions. And so I started asking her about her life, what she wanted, what she was thinking about. And, sometimes the first thing people say is, I'm not going to a home. I'm not going to do that. I'm staying in my house. Right. And she did want to stay in her house. Okay. She was a sweet lady, though. She never yelled at me. She was very sweet. And but I said, let's go to your house and let's just walk around and let's talk about what you do every day, how this house is still benefiting you. And let's just talk. And so we did. And I helped her to realize that it didn't fit her life anymore. Mm-hmm. She was a widow. She had the stairs. Her kids didn't come over all the time. She really didn't have the strength and ability to have big parties anymore. Okay. And she had all this huge furniture. She had to have somebody come in and clean. She had a home care person come in and help her with other things. And so we talked about what was real. What was your life now? Mm-hmm. And I talked to her about some of the retirement communities that were in the area that probably she would love. She didn't know that there were all these independent living communities that she could consider. And I said, let's go for tours. It turned out she had a sufficient amount of money to live in one of the CCRCs. That's a continued care retirement community.
Oh, sir.
They have everything. You go in there healthy. You have to be healthy. And then if you have a medical event, they have a medical center attached. And so it's usually a buy-in situation. So the buy-in helps cover the medical costs. For her situation, and the finances she had, that was a perfect fit for her. So I took her around to some of the places. She kind of told me what she wanted, and we found this place, and she fell in love with it.
Mm.
And within a week, she told her daughter, "I'm moving here."
Wow.
Her daughter's like, "I can't believe, I don't know how you did that, Connie, but I can't believe this is what we would want for her." And so I took her daughter to the community. She liked it. She picked the apartment that she was going to buy into, and she had it remodeled to exactly the way she wanted.
Wow.
And they do that. They do that for you. You're investing sometimes, 6 figures or more in a community, into a house. It's just in case you don't know what a CCRC is, it's a buy-in, and you get 90% of that money back when you pass away or move out. So let's just say it's a $500,000 buy-in, and 90% of that's going to come back to your family when you pass away. The other 10% will cover you for your medical expenses in the medical center for that room. Your doctor pays, the Medicare still kicks in for your doctor and everything.
Okay.
But for your home and the care that you'll generally get at a skilled nursing or something, that's all covered.
Got it.
And so you're taken care of. And then again, if you run out of money, most of those places have a benevolent fund where they don't kick you out. They'll spend down your money and they'll take care of you until you die. So it's a very, very wonderful way to live. And so she chose that. She moved in like a couple months later after her apartment was done, and she loved it so much. She became the ambassador.
Wow.
I think they have, 200 apartments there. She just came in with the fire behind her. And she says, this is going to be my ministry. I'm loving it. She's loving it. Like, I called her and I said, hey, let's get together and have a game of cards. I just want to check in on her. Oh, I got this on my schedule and that on my schedule. What days do you have available? Oh, no, I can't that day because I'm going to Bunko. I've got this craft place. Oh, there's a play. Oh, we're going away for a day. Wow. I could never get her,
Wow.
She just loved it. And her family was so thankful that they had called me to try and, not to try, but actually make things happen for her.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But the other thing I did for her, and I do for her, but this file is so important because it has your will in it, your POA, your passwords, your insurance, your marriage system, everything that like a lawyer would probably tell you to have. I don't lawyer, but I make sure that if they need a lawyer, they can go to one so they can put the proper documents in this file so that your family can just pull it out and say, this is what mom wants. This is what she asked for. And I got that idea from my mother, who, when she passed away, she was 93. She had 6 kids, 33 great-grandchildren. I think 13 grandchildren, 33 great-grandchildren when she passed. And she had that file. Wasn't organized like I make it, but she had a file and she would write little things down. This is what I want, and stick it in that file. And that was the file that we got when she passed. And we knew just what funeral home she wanted to be at, what she wanted to wear, where she wanted to be buried. And she always wanted to be buried. And then last minute, somehow she changed and wanted to be cremated.
Okay.
She didn't know how to spell cremation. It looked like creamer from like a milk creamer. It was so funny because my mom she wasn't real educated, but she said, I don't want to be buried. On this little piece of paper she got from like St. Jude's hospital for donations.
Okay.
She wrote down there, dear children, I do not want to be buried. I decided to be cremered. So, and then she signed her name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, that made me realize that my mom still had a voice.
Yeah.
Even after, I want that for everybody. I saw I saw families sue each other. And when I worked in the communities, because this brother said to the sister, I know what mom wants.
Right.
And the sister's like, no, I know what mom wants. I'm taking care of mom. And they would sue each other. And that broke my heart. And I know one story, the mother never made it into the community. She passed out of all the stress from her 7 children. Started fighting with each other. So I want to prevent that. My passion is to give families and the seniors peace of mind.
That's awesome.
So if you take my program and it's personal, customized to you, it's going to take you all the way to the end of your life, and you will have peace of mind, and so will your family, because they won't be guessing, oh, what does mom want to do? Or what does dad want to do? It'll all be there. And it's really a very exciting for me to see when that comes to happen. I see these people so happy, and that lady could have stayed in her house, fell down the stairs, and never been happy.
Sure.
Or stayed in her house and just been miserably alone. Who wants to be alone?
Right.
God didn't make us alone. He wants us to be connected. And so this was a really great way for her to do that. So,
Connie Jean, that's awesome. And I love you said peace of mind, because that's where we come in quite a bit, because we'll have people that are just so stressed about finances. They can't believe, doesn't matter if they watch one side of the aisle, if they watch CNN all day or Fox News all day, right? It's still death, destruction, war, crazy stuff. It's a different way, but it's still kind of the same topic, right? How do we rally everybody up? There's so many people just stressed out, and they feel like they don't have any money and finances are going to run out. I used to think the number one fear for people would be passing away. And then as I got more into this, I found out the number one fear is actually the opposite. It's actually living and running out of money. Yeah. So a lot of these folks are worried. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or $1, right? Everyone's worried that it's going to go away. So that's where we come in. We just show them how they can use a small percentage of their home equity, still leave a lot of equity in the house, but we can show them hey, what if you could use, 25, 30, depending on their age, 40, 50% of your equity. So you still leave a lot for the family. But what if you could use some of that to travel, some of it to pay off bills, some of it to give to the grandkids while you're still alive? What if you could go ahead and give donations to your favorite charity while you're still here? And if you're not at that point, what if you just had money to pay your taxes, insurance, and have a few extra $1,000s a month to go out to eat here and there? Just whatever it is that people want, just that peace of mind. What we do is we show them, hey, your equity is usable if you know how to use it. So we show them how to use it, and they can do that without a required monthly payment, still own the house, still have the ability to sell the house when they want to, and still have the ability to give it to their family. So it's real flexible. It's the new and improved version of a reverse mortgage. So we just educate people how it works, but you just be so hard to believe that a reverse mortgage, which has been vilified over the years, can actually give people peace of mind because of all the changes that's taken place.
I love that idea. I'm going to talk about that. I do talks to senior centers, and I'm definitely going to add that to you and I will get together, and I'll get all the details so I can tell them, because, that is a big concern.
Yeah.
I talked about people that had money. I've had people that have had no money, maybe a house. And if they would have known this could have saved them.
Yeah.
They could have stayed in the house, maybe got in-home care to help them a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
Instead there's one lady, she's in a home now, and they're going to spend down whatever she had left from her home so that she could stay in that house. But it wasn't well planned.
Yeah. So
she wasn't happy, and she was sick by the time they got her out of the house because she didn't have care. She didn't have anybody,
Wow.
I also have had parents or adult children call me and say, my mom doesn't have any money. My dad didn't leave her any money. She's living on her Social Security, which I know
right.
It's not. And help them find an apartment for her. And then eventually she needed assisted living. They're like, well, we don't have any money. And that's a huge, huge problem. I mean, it's like 38% of baby boomers have money, and then there's a percentage of us that have a little bit of money. And then there's a percentage that has a little bit less money. And then there's a percentage that has none. And they could easily be out on the street.
Right.
If they don't have a church or a family or somebody that cares about them, but I can even help them. What I do is I charge like a flat fee when I go to assess people.
Okay.
So it's pretty affordable, and then I make a custom plan if they're going to work with me for a period of months. So I really can help people that don't have a lot of money either, so that they know there's the Tennessee Choice. I don't know if a lot of people know about that.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
They'll pay the relatives for taking care of the family.
Sure.
And sometimes those families don't have any money. So this could be a real benefit to seeing their mom taking care of her dad and also getting paid some money to take care of them.
Yeah.
There's Medicaid, if you have nothing. There's some apartments around here that you can apply for. They're like 2 years behind getting in. Yeah. But you can apply now. And when you run out of money, then they let you in, because they don't let you in until you have no money.
Unbelievable.
So what if you have a little bit of money and you can't pay your rent? I don't know. There's a lot of issues that are going to come up in the next few years with people who, don't have a lot.
Sure. So many different scenarios. Well, sounds like you're the right person at the right place, at the right time to help all these people, Miss Connie G. Maybe could you share, as we wrap up here, where do you serve people and how's the best way to get in touch with you?
Okay, so I can serve everybody. If I'm in Tennessee, I'm going in person. I have a good line of people in Illinois, which I would actually drive there and see them, but then just do everything on Zoom. But I can literally talk to anybody all over the United States. So it would just be a Zoom call. If they wanted to work with me personally, I would take a trip out there, depending on the situation. But I have a website. It's justmyname.com. I have a podcast also, so I talk about some things, and everything is under my name. I made it pretty simple. Even my email is conniejeancatelano@gmail.com.
Okay.
So people can find me just by my name, just about anywhere. LinkedIn. And if you have a question, feel free to ask. Doesn't cost a darn thing. And also I'll talk to you, I'll do a 30-minute free call and just try to find out what you want and need. And I'll be more than happy to give you whatever I can,
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, Connie Jean, what I love about what you're doing is that a lot of people have their own idea, and maybe if it's even the same idea that you have, the challenge is that sometimes people need that little jolt of energy just to push that snowball off the hill and get it rolling, right? And you're not the little jolt of energy. When I first met you, I was like, this lady's got pizzazz and excitement, and she's going to do great things. So you're able to give them that boost to push that snowball off the hill, and then it starts rolling. I could really see how like that lady just took and ran with your advice, and next thing you know, she was the ambassador for the whole place that she didn't want to move to originally until you suggested it. So you're just doing some great things and helping a lot of people be in that energy that they need.
Well, thank you. And here's the best part about what I do. I'm the same age as them, or older.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that helps them to understand that I understand.
Yeah.
And that's why they trust me, I believe, because they could see my heart and they know that I'm there. I'm in that era of my life that I had to make a plan too. But my plan was to keep working.
Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I hope we're all able to have the impact that you're having someday, and be able to take great care of people and be able to be a force for good out there like you are. So thanks for all you're doing.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm excited about your program. And next time we get together at a networking, we're going to have coffee. Okay?
That would be awesome. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and keep up the great work.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. And thanks for being here. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for watching the Serving Seniors podcast, where we serve and share information from great people like Connie Jean that help seniors thrive in retirement. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.
All right, Matt. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of retirement mortgage solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniorspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, and depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want. As long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.